Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, I was just kind of reading some of the Italian newspapers here, and I'm reading about how the Guardia di Finanza has gone in and raided some scooter manufacturer who is selling scooters that they say are made in Italy that apparently are not. And the Guardia di Finanza, which is like the Italian IRS and watchdog agency and whatnot, consumer agency kind of thing, has sequestered another 1,300 scooters for a value of around 14 million euros because they say made in Italy, but they're not. Now, here's something you really need to know about Italian leather handbags. And again, this comes from Signor Moretti, Walter Moretti, who's a dear friend of ours, and we just love the man so much. And when you go to his shop, it's like a kid in a candy store. And let me tell you something about Mr. Moretti. When I first was going to start selling handbags on my Chasing La Bella Vita website, which is no longer extant, but I really wanted to sell Italian leather handbags on my site. So I was bicycling around Florence one day, and it had almost given up because nobody was really interested in, selling me a bunch of handbags or providing them. And I saw this man standing out of his shop, and he was wearing a leather apron. And then I saw handbags. So I went, and I stopped my bike and I went in and I said, "Are you interested in selling me a bunch of handbags to sell online or whatever? Can we work something out?" And he said, "Well, I really don't do it in bulk." Right? He doesn't sell in bulk, which is, that's actually a good sign, He doesn't have a giant factory with a bunch of workers in there stamping out these handbags. His family makes them. And that's why they're so beautiful. In fact, you have to go to his shop. Oh my gosh, I was just there. I can't help it. I always buy something because I can't live without it. I convince myself I can't live without it, so I have to buy it. Anyway, each of his handbags is intricately handmade. And I saw one of his little blueprints. He goes, "Oh, look, this is something I'm working on," or something like that. And I looked at him, it was like a little miniature house. A little miniature house of a handbag. This corner was so precise, and this zipper had to be just that size, and the opening had to be this big. And these handbags are stunningly pretty. I don't know what to tell you about them. They're just so pretty. Anyway, I was just fascinated. But back to my story about looking for handbags, he said, "I'm going to give you a lesson on Italian leather handbags." And he said, "I want you to go out on the street and go to the leather market." Everybody goes to the leather market in Florence. They think that's the best place to go. It's not. Go to the leather market, poke around, and look at these things closely and tell me what you find. And I said, okay, that's a good assignment. So I went out. I went and started looking, and I saw, oh, this leather's not quite the same as this leather from one part of the purse to the other. Or this zipper doesn't really zip very well. It's a little chunky, it stops and it catches and stuff like that. And, oh, this one's, the seam is kind of coming undone. This one, there's a little cut in the back that doesn't look like it should be there. On and on and on. Every single one of them has some kind of defect that wasn't perfect. And then he said, "Okay, did you do that?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Now come look at my handbags." And I looked, and I was blown away. And I'm so glad he gave me that little task, because I was blown away, and I could tell a really great handbag. And then he started showing me, look, the lining in this one, there's always a little pocket that he makes for your cell phone. Just the absolute gorgeousness of the leather, like the super buttery, smooth leather, and one side of the leather matches the other side, and it's all super high quality, but his prices are not that much. I mean, most of his handbags are maybe not even 100 euros, maybe 120 for like a really one that has a lot of details in it or whatever. In any case, I walked out of there a new woman knowing a lot about handbags. But one of the things he told me is that when you buy an Italian leather handbag made in Italy from Italian leather, understand most of the time are not made by leather craftsmen. They're not made by families who've been doing it for decades. They're not made by people who do have the passion and just the love to turn out a really beautiful product. They're made by people who come from other countries. They set up these shops. They buy leather from Italy, and they make them in Italy. Are they lying? No. Are they truthful? No. So understand that a lot of stuff that you see out on the street is not really what you should be getting when you buy an Italian leather handbag. And do your own research. First of all, go to the leather market and poke around and see what you see. Then go see Mr. Moretti and look at his handbags and look at the difference. And if you want to see something really, really amazing and beautiful, almost like a museum, go to the leather school. And I'm telling you, those handbags there, they're like museum pieces. They're stunning. There you go, guys. You really have to watch out for what you buy, because technically they're telling the truth, but are they really telling the truth when they promote Italian leather handbags made in Italy? So if you want really good handbags, go to the artisans, go to the actual shops, go to the people whose family has been doing this for decades or maybe even generations, and take a look at the handbags and go and buy them there. They're not that much more expensive, but you're going to get handbags that are going to last forever. And in fact, Signor Moretti has assured me that if ever you have your handbag at home, if something breaks or something comes undone or whatever, you ship it back to him. He fixes it and he ships it back to you. He wants you to keep it forever. So there you go, guys. There's my big tip on Italian leather handbags made in Italy. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.